everyone, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. In today's video, I'm going to be going through and talking about my first ever bullet journals. I was in 8th grade at the time, so I was 14 or 15 years old, and it's just so incredibly cool and weird to see how much I have changed and grown as an artist and bullet journaler. As I go back through these, I want to keep this area a judge-free and positive zone. I started out with very little knowledge of calligraphy and bullet journaling in general, so I really started from the ground up in these journals. I will never say any of it looks bad, because the truth is, it doesn't. And if anyone's journal currently looks like these, that is okay too, because we are all at different stages in our bullet journal journeys, and as long as we love and enjoy what we make in our bujos, it's beautiful. Without further ado, let's get into it. Starting with the first ever bullet journal I ever purchased. It was from Amazon. It has, I think, about 120 pages. It's a really large journal. It has a flimsy cover with palm trees because it was the summer at this point, and it's got white dot grid pages. The first thing I noticed about this journal is it has faded words of summer and 2K17 on it, and I remember writing these on here with my Crayola Super Tips markers because they were really affordable, and I just decided I should get some markers at the time to start my bullet journal journey, and I just thought it would be a good idea to write summer and 2017 on the cover. So that was just a little time capsule that I remembered, and it brought back a memory. I also remember that I was super obsessed with stickers at the time, so I pasted a bunch of seashell and starfish and crab stickers in my journal because I guess my theme for June was the ocean and summer and the sea and all that fun stuff. I started bullet journaling around the same time that Amanda Rach Lee on YouTube started bullet journaling, and so I think I actually recreated her July spread with dandelions and white simple flowers like this, and also I tracked my Musical.ly account down in the corner because who remembers when that was a thing before TikTok? Anyways, I really liked how my July cover page turned out, but the rest I kind of didn't put as much effort into. At the end of this bullet journal, you'll see that I didn't do any planning for August or September, but I did spread ideas and ideas for cover pages and themes because I actually started another bullet journal for my academic year to start in school, so that's my 8th grade year. And so the rest of this journal is just kind of spread ideas and doodling and silly little things like that, practicing my calligraphy because goodness knows I needed a lot of help back then. Here are some theme ideas that I had. You'll see that I really liked the wreath idea. I had some fairy lights for January, just a bunch of hearts for February, and then I kind of stopped. This was the journal that I never quite finished. It was very neglected, and it's kind of sad. Now moving on to my first ever official bullet journal. Back at it again with all of those positive stickers, self-motivation. I was also very into quotes. You'll see I actually have a bunch of spreads in this notebook where I just wrote down a bunch of quotes and really inspiring things that I enjoyed, and I guess if that worked for me back then it's okay. But you evolve and you learn and you grow, and we're just going back and seeing how I grew from this. I actually thought this was pretty cool though. I implemented my first ever color-coded flip-out key, so each of my classes that I was taking was a different color, and I wrote it down with my fine liner in that color whenever I was writing an assignment or a test upcoming or anything like that. I do like the cover art for August. I wrote cursive over a capitalized August, and I think it looks pretty cool. Here's one of the quote pages and my favorite things at the time, which is really interesting to look back on and see what I think I was 13-year-old self was enjoying at the moment. Another quote page, and this time a doodle ideas page. I wasn't the best at doodling, I think that's safe to say, but I enjoyed it, so it's fine. One of the things I regret to my younger self about all of these spreads is I used the thick side of the Crayola Super Tips for all of my outlining of boxes and my calendar spread, and I just don't think it looks very good. So I wish I could go back and tell my younger self that it wasn't the best stylistic choice. I did have some pretty interesting weekly spreads though. I might take some inspiration from myself. Another thing I have noticed about my old self is I didn't really do monthly themes. At this point in time, I just did colors. And so there's not much doodling. Instead, it's just August was a light blue, September is a sage green, that kind of thing. This is a hand lettering practice page. At this point I received a bunch of calligraphy pens, and this is kind of where I tested them all out. Yikes. In September 2017, for my monthly reflection, I said that we got a turtle, and this will come into play later, so just stay tuned. The color scheme for October, my birthday month, of course has to be orange and black, because what else could it possibly be? I think it's super interesting to see how my creativity has also grown over time, because you see here I was just doing color schemes. I guess I was too scared to dabble in doodling or anything like that, but even looking at this November, that cover page is completely different than my past cover pages, so I'm kind of growing, and it's really interesting to see how over the months I grow a little bit more each time into my creative mind. this point in time, I also did get a lot of my inspiration from bullet journalers and Pinterest. So this new word spread was from Pinterest. I'm pretty sure I just copied it down. I was way too scared to try to go my own way for fear of messing it up. That's the perfectionist still inside of me to this day. And that's another thing that I wish I could go back and tell my past self, not to be scared to go your own way and completely go off the rails, because most of the time it ends up working even better than it would have if you sticked to the rules. Remember when I told you that we got a turtle in September? Well, this is where he comes back into play. And yes, he was actually named Turtle by me. So creative, I know, but for Thanksgiving we were going to Florida, which is quite a long drive from Texas where we live, and so we were really scared to leave Turtle behind, and so we just gave him a bunch of food for the week and hoped that he would stay alive. So one of my goals was to not kill Turtle. He ended up surviving that week. He did amazing. He's unfortunately no longer with us, but he was a great little spirited turtle. He was super tiny, and he still has a place in my heart. It was definitely one of my habits back then to not finish my journals, and instead when I got to December, I would just immediately start planning for my next year's theme and what I was going to do for my January or to set up my next bullet journal. So all of these next spreads, again, are just spreads where I'm dabbling in creativity or trying to recreate spreads that I've seen on YouTube or Pinterest. This is where I started evolving into pasting pictures in my journals, besides just stickers and writing out everything, and I think that is where my love of scrapbooky looking bullet journals comes from, because I really did fall in love with this random January cover page. Here I ripped out the last leaflet in this journal so I could take it with me somewhere and just doodle, again, things for January or my next bullet journal. Here you'll see that I thought it was cool to washi tape every single edge in my bullet journal. I think I saw this on a bullet journal life hack video somewhere on YouTube. Of course it was meant to bookmark one single page that was important so you could just flip to it, but I thought it looked cool, so I decided to do it with all of them. This brings us to the end of my flipping through my first bullet journals video. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed it, feel free to leave a like and comment how you felt about my first bullet journals. I still have 3 more years of bullet journals to go through, so if you want to see more videos like this, but through my more evolved years of bullet journaling, definitely leave a like to let me know, or just let me know in the comments if you want to see that. I hope you guys enjoyed going through my first ever bullet journals with me. It was definitely a little window back in time for this time period where I discovered bullet journaling and decided to give it a go. And boy, how it has changed my life. As always, if you guys have any tips, recommendations, or requests, feel free to leave them in the comments down below, and I will do my best to make some fun videos. Until the next, bye.